Hey man, this is your cracker with another dish of that cracker sauce. What's up, happy people? Let's think positive, let's get some uptime, let's go places. But just in case, we're gonna talk about Bailout LZs today. When you can't find that uptime, you gotta go. You gotta put your feet on the ground somewhere. We've never failed to land, so it will happen. Let's talk about all those little places. The cool thing about Santa Barbara is from Goleta to Carpinteria, you can be below 2,000 feet at almost any point and have a good place to land. Hang glider or paraglider. With a hang glider, you get a little more reach, so you can reach bigger places. With paraglider, we got all kinds of little spots you can put it in. So don't worry about those landing zones. They will make themselves apparent once you get down there. Just worry about getting up, getting high, floating around, having a good old time. All right, let's do this. We're gonna start on the west end of things around the VOR, because we're in the airspace any more west of that. So let's talk about, let's see, our orientation first. We have, it's north, we're looking at this way. South is behind us. We got the VOR spine, VOR launch. We got the T to land at. In the past, we also have other little foothill zones. You can see some fields down here. Of course, you're in the airspace, so stay as snug to the hills as you can if you end up over there. But from the VOR over, you know, all these spots from VOR to No Name to West Bowl, if you're, if you're around the 2,000 foot range or lower, you can make it out pretty easily. There's kind of a ridge here, and there's plenty of places to land behind there. Some fire roads to walk out on. There's this nice big spot by this reservoir here. You can land here, but most of the time from 2,000 feet, 1,800 feet, you'll clear all this. You get to Kokopah. Kokopah is awesome because it's like a mile-long field starting right at the base of these hills you can land at. Huge for hang gliders too. Of course, there's the T. So anywhere in this zone under 2,000 feet from West Bowl over, you got all these LZs that are very easy, very makeable. Plenty of other places to land here. You can see there's hardly any houses, ridges, fields, all kinds of stuff. But of course, Kokopah and the T get you the closest walk to the road, which is hardly any walk at all. If we cruise over, we got Robbins. So from even low on West Bowl, like down below 2,000 feet, and all this Cathedral Inspiration Point area, you have Robbins. Robbins is the preferred LZ in this zone. Once you land here, it's kind of like its own little training hill. Once you land here, you got an easy walkout, Hesita Trail to San Roque Road. Beautiful trail, beautiful trail. But Inspiration Point is around this 1,500 foot range. It's this ridge here. And it's often, you got some west wind. It's ridge soarable. Sometimes you get up and out of here. There's power lines that run along it. So you could get even just below the power lines on this end of it and make Robbins really easy. So if I'm trying to get back to Parma, I like to fish this end, the east end of it, see if I can get up to $2,000 to cut over to the Holy Hills Road cut. If not, I'm ridge soaring this thing until I can't ridge soar no longer and follow the ridge right down here to Robbins. So you have your orientation, Cathedral Peak, Inspiration Point, Robbins. Lacumber's in the back. So even if you get flushed off Lacumber real low, come around one side of Cathedral or the other, Inspiration's all the way down here at 1,500 feet, 1,700 feet. So you could soar back up. You could ridge soar this thing for hours. Put in Robbins if you can't get back up and out of here. So that's pretty easy going. From in between Inspiration and the Holy Hills Road cut, I've never done it, but plenty of people have landed down here at the Botanical Gardens on these ridges. There's some agricultural stuff growing here and there, but people have landed on the ridges. I've always looked at this little zone right here at the bottom of this ridge, because often from Inspiration Point, I'll cut into here and kind of ridge soar up to the Holy Hills Road cut. I've always looked at this guy as a burned out house. It looks big enough, kind of small but big enough, and I think people have landed there in the past. I'm sure people have landed everywhere. But anyway, so that's kind of that zone. More than likely, you're trying to push on, this whole front part of the Holy Hills is all 1,800 feet again, usually kind of ridge soarable, and you can at least bump along out here in front of the Power Prayer to land at St. Mary's. So plenty big LZ there. Easy makings from low all in this zone here. So if you get flush from the tip, low in front of the tip, of course, there's the Eliminator Skyport. Maybe you got pushed over here because of some east wind. All this super low zone, below, 1,800 feet is really easy to get into St. Mary's. Some people make the mistake of trying to land at Schofield. Don't do that. Tall trees everywhere. St. Mary's is our emergency bailout on this area. So from that zone, from Eliminator Skyport Thermal Factory, of course, we have Parma. Let's see, Parma is right here. And then, of course, there's some little ridges to land on. Pretty easy. Big fields around. There's the Parker's Firebreak LZ. I've landed on this plenty of times. It's a nice short walk to lower Parma. It's huge. Sometimes you can even get some lift on it and carry you over into Parma. So from the Parker's area, even low on shadow, if you run back in here and come to the front of Parker's, down low, 1,500 feet, you can make this Parker's Firebreak LZ. You also have Westmont. They don't like you landing here so much. If you can get a little past Westmont, you can land at Cold Springs School, where there's less trouble. But some people get bitched at. No big deal. Emergency landing. But if you want to try and make it back to your car, just sneak around here. Sometimes you even get some bumps, some lift around Parker's, and then to the Parker's Firebreak LZ. So that's pretty easy going. There are some bigger fields at the top of T-Bulls. You can put it right in the foothills, but you still have altitude here. You still got 1,000 feet. So you can more than likely make it to Westmont or towards the Parker's LZ. There's also some bigger fields in this zone. So you can see lots of gaps. My least favorite part to be low in the whole range is right here at the bottom, the foothills of Montecito. So let's get some reference here. Here's Montecito Peak. Here's Shadow Peak. So just this zone right here, if I'm below 2,000, it's the only part I don't like. And you can see lots of houses, not a whole lot of room. There is one big backyard that people have landed in. It's smaller than you think when you get back down in it. But right here, pretty big LZ. Just be nice. Try to get out of there without being noticed. But other than that, your LZs are pretty limited in this zone. So hopefully you have a little west wind. Hopefully you're above these power lines, which is about 2,000 feet. The power line's about 16, 17, 1,800 feet. So if you're above 2,000, you got it easy peasy to keep working these foothills. This is more like a low cloud-based day if you're working the out front stuff. So once you get past this little zone at the west side of the foothills of Montecito Peak, then it spreads out a little more. There's some bigger fields to land in, so I'm way less stressed over here. So under 2,000 feet at these hills, you can see you got some open spaces here right below Mountain Drive. This kind of horse thing right here. They're still small, but totally doable on a paraglider, piece of cake. You even have the McMenemy Trail. You could kind of squeeze up here, uphill if you had to, and land on McMenemy Trail. This comes off of San Ysidro Canyon. And if you're at 2,000 feet, which seems low, but that's really high in this zone, then you're up here and you got Park Lane LZ, no problem. Park Lane LZ is right near the San Ysidro trailhead. It's at the bottom of Layer Cake. So if you come low at Layer Cake, you're trying to scratch, you're trying to get up here, you end up down here in the foothills, Park Lane LZ is right below you. So don't even think about it. Just keep working on getting up. Don't even think about the landing. You got a huge landing zone right at the bottom of Park Lane. So if you're at least 2,000 feet in these hills, you take that west wind, you keep bopping along, you at least got Park Lane LZ. If you get below 1,500 feet, you got some options more at the bottom of a Secret Bowl area, East Montecito Peak, that are bigger. Park Lane works good for a hang glider too. Hang gliders make sure to go uphill. It is kind of a downhill LZ, and people have landed in the trees down here. So go uphill in the Park Lane LZ. Let the uphill eat your altitude away. This is the only zone I don't like in the whole range. But usually you're 2,000 feet or more, you're skipping right across it, and you can make these get down where there's more open space, and you also have the Park Lane LZ. Once you get to Layer Cake zone, sometimes this little zone you can get a little bump off and get over the golf course. Huge landing zones at the golf course, hang glider and paraglider. So you got plenty of LZs, no problem. You're bumping along Layer Cake. You're going to Romero, even if you're low down these foothills, no big deal. You can land at Romero Reservoir. That's a pretty big zone. You got like shotgun fields with this little track around it. This guy, expect a yell from him, but whatever. You got to do what you got to do. But this is all if you get like below 1,500 feet, you're looking at these things. Otherwise, you just keep bumping along. Past shotgun fields, you got another open field over here. If you could squeeze a little further out, you got the practice polo fields, all in this zone. You can land on the back of the Summerlin Hill. There's some low zones over here if you're bumping along golf course. So lots of places to land. If you get low and below Castle Point or Mobile Point, You got a lot of open fields in the back of Toro Canyon. You got these up a little higher, but all these work right in here. Plenty of places to land. Piece of cake if you can't clear this Polo Ridge to get out to Badero. Piece of cake, huh? So we keep bumping along. You go along the OHV bumps. Now you got pretty good glides out to Carp, because this is kind of like a canyon here, and you'll cruise right through the middle of it. If not, you got the Snowball Fire Road. So you can always land on this fire road right here. It's now the Franklin Trail that cuts all the way up to the ridgeline. So you can land anywhere on this thing, walk to Snowball, relaunch, and out to Carp. So pretty easy going. Lots of bailouts everywhere. I wouldn't even worry about landing. One more, if you get past power lines, in between power lines and Noon kind of dumps right off into Kate School. So here it is. So if you can't get all the way out to Carp, Kate School is a great alternative to land in here. So there you go. From VOR to Noon Peak, you got bailouts everywhere. So don't even think about landing. That will make itself apparent when you are down there. Just worry about getting up. Concentrate on those thermals. Concentrate on getting your glider to bite in a piece of lift. Get up on out of there. All right. See you up there. Crack it. Out. We're going to give a shout out to all the people and organizations that make free flight possible here in Santa Barbara and our surrounding areas. First off, we got Eagle Paragliding, which is eagleparagliding.com, one of the 2 paragliding schools in town. They will take you from zero to hero, baby. From the Bunny Hill to the mountains to all over the world. They got tours all over the place. They got SIV clinics going on with a boat and a lake. So hit up eagleparagliding.com. Arctic 4 is what I fly. It's the only glider I fly. I love it. I use it for everything. Niviac.com. Safest glider on the planet. Smash that bar and you're going places. Smoking those Enzos. Ha! Badass glider. I'm surfing the train all the time here in Santa Barbara. Never take a collapse, never a wingtip. I could launch this thing in technical conditions. I could fly it on the ridges and the training hill, hike with it. It's amazing. Get one. Fly Above All, our other paragliding school in town. You'll see them up at the VOR doing some tandems at the ridges, hanging out, supporting the local community. We got, and they are flyaboveall.com. Flyawayhanggliding.com. Willie, awesome hang glider instructor, ripper pilot, doing his thing here in town. Tandems all over the place. Call me if you want to learn how to hang glide. We got miniplaneusa.com. This is Chad Bastian's company. If you want to learn how to motor, take a lesson with Chad. Super fun. If you want to learn how to thermal too, watch this guy. He's at the hill every day for the last 20 years. Amazing technique. It's like an art form watching him thermal. Watch the way he moves his hands, the way he shifts his weight. You get a lesson all in itself just watching him. And then we have our Santa Barbara Soaring Association page, sbsa.info. You can see the chat box on here when people are talking about flying. The Twitters replicate on here from the 2 paragliding schools of when they're meeting and where the flying's happening. We also have a visiting pilots page. Santa Barbara Soaring Association keeps our sites flyable, our sites insured. Our wind talkers talking, so we definitely want to contribute to them. Definitely hit up a local before you come flying or one of the paragliding schools. All the contacts are on the visitings page, and you have to be a member to fly our sites. So we have a little donate here. You can donate and do it right online and be all set for when you come fly. So welcome to paradise.